Hello and welcome to the first Seismic Cinema podcast of 2023. So put your feet up on the infraction pipe, grab a pre-definite amount of popcorn, and prepare to inebriate with us for the next hour.
Yep, some fancy dancy words that make no sense for a fancy dancy podcast that also makes no sense.
About a movie that makes no sense.
About a movie, yes. I was quite sad though. He never did it in Daniel Craig's signature Southern drawl that he puts on.
Nah, that wasn't going to happen. So happy New Year, Paul. We've made it into a new year doing the podcast.
Yeah, I almost didn't make it into this new year when I caught that sickness bug.
Our listeners don't need to hear the gruesome details of that.
I was in Aaron Ramsey goal away from losing it.
Yes.
Well, not quite famous.
What's that?
Well, I'm not quite famous enough.
No, we're getting there.
Yeah.
So, just to introduce ourselves in 2023 to anyone who doesn't know us. So, I'm Colin, but my code name is Daryl. And you are?
Your code name? Are you a secret agent?
Hi.
Daryl, is that the kind of bum that just wanders about the beach?
It's his pal that just appears randomly.
Yeah. He's quite an odd wee character, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He just served absolutely no purpose.
We'll get to him.
So sorry.
What's your name?
Duke Cody, aka David Batista, aka Drax.
And you are Paul.
Paul, yes, sorry.
Yeah. So
the other half.
Was that the other half?
The other half of Seismic Cinema.
Yes. One half's not complete without the other. So you can probably tell from the title, and we're going to be reviewing Glass Onion, a Nice Out Mystery. It was originally going to be The Law-Abiding Citizen, which is a film we both like, but I think just the timing of this film coming out, and I think it was one that we were both planning to check out, it just made sense to have a discussion about it.
Yeah, and I don't think we've done that kind of a murder mystery kind of movie yet. So just something a bit different than our usual.
So with that in mind, what we're going to do is do this in a bit of a weird order. We're first of all, we're going to do what have we been watching, because it's been a while since we caught up in that regard. But we're going to start with fun facts and Easter eggs about the film, and then go on to the plot. So we thought we would honor the movie in that way by having an even more unstructured structure than usual.
Yeah, structure is not a strong point, so this should be good. So this plays into our strengths.
So, Paul, you said just in our preamble that you've not really been watching a lot, probably because you've not been well, but anything you've bd checking out over the last few weeks during our hiatus?
Well, actually, when I was looking at my Netflix history there, I'd started watching The Sandman.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, because I remember John Wesley talking about it when he was on from the Sense of Shelf podcast. He'd been talking about it because he'd been watching it and reading the graphic novels, I think he said. And I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. There's like good episodes where it's like really good, and then there's like some slow episodes where it's like I don't actually know what's going on or what the purpose of it is. But like overall, I'm quite enjoying it. I just need to kind of persevere with it to get to the end, I think, which is a glowing endorsement.
Yeah, as usual, you're not really selling what you're watching, but never mind.
To be fair, like I was like dying on the couch when I was watching it, so I probably not enjoyed it as much as I should have.
If it's one I've got at the back of my mind to maybe check out at some point.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you've been checking out? Movies or shows?
Scarlett's been picking a few movies. We watched an old Tim Allen movie called
Santa Claus.
No, it wasn't that. For Richer or Poorer.
Not seen it.
Yeah, basically, like this property developer and his like, I think is she like a model or something? and basically their accountant screws them and leaves them with a big IRS bill, and the IRS are after them, so they go to live in a Amish community. And like when they're like so fish out of water, but they pretend that they're like some distant cousin of some people that live there. And then over time, they kind of learn to like live the way and like integrate into it, and actually have a pretty good time and like benefit the community. And it's actually quite a kind of a nice movie if you want. So yeah, I'll probably check it if you're looking for like a kind of hour and a half movie just to kind of feel good, chill out movie. I'd watch that.
I love an hour and a half movie.
Yeah. Oh, how long was this movie actually? Glass Onion. This was about 2 hours, wasn't it?
But you know, it's like the credits don't normally take up a large chunk of the runtime, so it's probably around about just over 2 hours.
Yeah. Plus, it's like you're saying earlier on before the call, it's like the movie restarts itself at some point, so it's like 2 movies in one.
Oh, you're jumping the.
Sorry.
You're jumping the gun like Benoit Blanc at the dinner.
Now jumping the gun, jumping the crossbow.
I've got a few things I've been watching, which I thought I'd fill you and our listeners in on. So I'm treating Superstore like my kind of long-term one. I just kind of dip into it when I've got some time. I'm still enjoying it. It's funny. Like, did you not say you watched a bit of it?
I did back in like ages ago when it first came out. See the guy's in a wheelchair.
Got it.
He can walk.
In real life?
In real life, he is not wheelchair bound.
He's some actor then.
Yes, because I was actually watching another series called The Recruit that's just out on Netflix. And he was in that, and I was like, that's a guy from Superstore. He can walk.
So I'm still enjoying that. My guilty pleasure show, kind of 3/4 of the way through season 3 of Emily in Paris, which I quite enjoy. Right.
I've never watched that.
It's good. I like the kind of business side of it, and I've also got a soft spot for Paris as well.
How do you go? Oh, I've been there. Yeah, oh, that's why I proposed.
It is generally good. I do that once an episode. It is actually a really good show. I've been rewatching some of the episodes of Black Mirror ahead of doing the ranking with James next week. Hopefully you can join us if you get your skates on. And I've been really enjoying that. It's quite a heavy show. So yeah, it'll leave you with some thoughts and some feelings. Well, maybe not feelings on your part, but never mind.
What's that I mean?
You're cold and indifferent. Nah, you've been lighting up a bit, haven't you?
Try to be. New year, new me. New year, new me, and all that.
Me and Alien watched the first 3 episodes of 1895, the sequel to Dark, the German
one. Is it 1899?
I'm sure it's 18. Is it 1895?
I've not even watched it, and I'm pretty sure it's 1899.
Is it? Really? Is it 1895 or 1899? The show we watched, the boat.
1899.
Oh, maybe you're right then.
Thank you.
Never mind. We watched some of Bad Batch, which I mentioned. This isn't a show I've started watching, but one I've planned to watch because it's got quite a good write-up and quite a good premise. Is Outer Banks.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
So
do you want a spoiler? Do you want a spoiler for 1899?
No.
It gets cancelled for season 2.
Thanks for that.
So if it ends on a cliffhanger, you won't ever know.
I will. That's really hyped me up for the rest of the season anyway.
Hey, you can start a Facebook page and like save 1899.
Or 1895. Is that not the one that Neil Boyle did, or was that a different one?
Oh, his is like 17. I can't remember. 1694. I can't remember.
Oh well. All right. So with our weird structure, let's get into the fun facts, the Easter eggs, and then we can get into the actual movie itself.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
lots of scribbles that I won't be able to read, but I'll try my best, and I'll try and enlighten our listeners and viewers.
Sounds good, my man. Sounds good. And I'll pipe in with my IMDb page I've got open here.
Well, I've mentioned you at the start. I went through with a lot of detail the Wikipedia page for Glass Onions, and I looked at a BT article, and I looked at, what was the other one I mentioned?
Bustle.
Bustle. Yeah, I want to give these guys their credit. Also, I watch YouTube videos like Screen. Is it Screen? What are they called? I should probably remember their name. The ones that
Screen
break
Rant.
down Screen. I will just say it was Screen Rant. They're probably not watching anyway. So, there's a couple of YouTubers. Screen Crush. There it is.
Oh, okay.
They go into these movies with a lot of detail and knowledge that we don't have. So yeah, credit to all those people, and credit to myself for actually spending the time to watch and read.
Oh, nothing like patting the back to yourself.
Right, let's start out with what you've got then. So what are your fun facts and Easter eggs?
Well, the one that I don't know, the one I just find the most random and bizarre is the hourly dong. Right? It's just Jason Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I had that one.
It's so weird. Like, what a random. Like, imagine
I think he's quite pally with Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, I think he's been like in like every one of his movies or something at least.
Yeah, I think he had a vocal cameo in Nice Out.
Aye, on the radio or something. I was like Detective Hardcastle or something. I didn't even remember, or Hardblock or something. And also, he was like an alien in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
In Canto Bight.
No, that's true. I like when directors have like their pals in films and stuff. I think it's quite cool.
Yeah, it's so weird. I wonder how much got paid for it. I might like, here, Joseph, Joey boy, I've got a wee gig for you. All you need to do is go dong.
It's quite memorable though, isn't it?
Aye, if you think Joseph Gordon-Levitt's dong is memorable, then fair enough.
There's a loose Star Wars connection in that Daniel Craig was also a stormtrooper in Force Awakens.
So he was, wasn't he? That's right.
The one that had Rey captive.
The one with the weak mind.
Mm-hmm.
We got forced.
Yes. So we've played bingo on that one. Have you got any other ones?
Oh, hey, we're not taking it turnabout. I don't want to shoot my shot all in one go.
Well, do you want a fun fact or do you want an Easter egg?
Fun fact, me.
Ryan Johnson really didn't approve of having a Nice Out mystery in the title because he wanted it to seem just like a standalone movie that just happened to have the same actor. So he wasn't very keen on that. It was the studio that decided that.
I did see that actually because it says too many things try to serialize now, don't they?
Aye. So he wanted it just to say Glass Onion.
Yeah. To be fair though, like just Glass Onion by itself, it doesn't really grab me as a film title.
I wouldn't have immediately thought to pick it up if I hadn't known it was linked to Nice Out.
Yeah, and I'd only just seen Knives Out the week before this came out as well. So,
have I got my? Did you give me my DVD back? Yeah.
Yes, I did. I gave you that back in Us as well.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, your turn. What else you got?
I had something about Miles Braun having Paul McCartney's, saying he had Paul McCartney's guitar at the start, but it was like the wrong way around. It was like a right-handed guitar, but Paul McCartney's left-handed, and as if like. But then I read somewhere that it's not an intentional goof because, spoiler alert, Miles Braun, the tech genius, is an idiot. So he might just not have known that. He might have just been totally inept and had the guitar the wrong way around, or had the wrong guitar and wouldn't even know about it because he's so stupid. So it's not really.
That leads me on to another point, which is somewhere in my notes. Where is it? There's It's called Rotho painting. So there's a painting that Miles Brown had that was quite important, but he'd hung it upside down, which showed he didn't actually know anything about art, just like he didn't know anything else.
To be fair, though, it's to hang important art upside down. Is that not pretty edgy? Is that not what all cool kids do these days?
Also, I've also worked out why me and Alien couldn't find the Mona Lisa when we were in Paris. We were getting absolutely slaughtered by my family because we went to the museum and we couldn't find it. We looked everywhere and couldn't find it. So it must have been in Miles Brown's beachside mansion.
Yes, the island. No, that's. Because it was the real one they had, wasn't it? They had on loan. That's right.
Because the movie's set during the pandemic, which was quite interesting because they referenced it quite a few times.
Yeah, it was weird going back to seeing people with masks and like Zoom calls and stuff. Like when Bonk's having like his Zoom call and he's playing Among Us with like Angela Lansbury and Stephen Sondheim, and that was like their last appearance.
Because you hadn't done your research. I see what you're playing. You're hustling me here.
Oh no, I knew that before.
Aye, so two of the people on this. Sorry, on you go.
On you go. That's nothing. I was going to ask a stupid question.
The people that you mentioned, I read that they actually died before the film was released, and that the film was dedicated to those two actors.
Oh, actors. Yeah. Angela Lansbury. Yeah, she was Murder She Wrote in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Stephen Sondheim.
Sondheim, yeah.
So there was also Serena Williams.
Yeah. Did you see what book she was reading?
Was that a book that was referenced in Nights Out?
Yeah, Gravity's Rainbow.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't pretend that I noticed that when I watched it. I did read that one as well.
Yeah, I'd read that one this summer as well. But it's quite funny. Was that?
You did do your research.
No, I think I just read it somewhere, like on the passing. Because like it was quite funny as well seeing Serena. Was it Serena or Venus? Serena. And like she's just like on call 24/7 at that gym and nobody uses it.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting there reading that book.
Yeah, it was quite cool actually seeing it kind of played out during the pandemic. Another name that was on that Zoom call, I actually recognised it more from the Simpsons episode rather than basketball. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
All right, okay.
Do you remember that episode?
Everything circles back to the Simpsons, doesn't it?
Do you remember the episode when they had the kind of all-star baseball team?
Baseball team?
It was baseball, wasn't it?
I thought you said basketball. Was that
he was a basketball player. I don't know if he played baseball as well, but he was one of the ones that the power plant recruited.
Was that the Springfield Isotopes?
I can't remember. Remember Darryl Strawberry?
Yeah. Is there not one that drinks like radioactive juice or something and his head grows really big?
Was that not Darryl Strawberry maybe?
It might be, yeah.
And there's a song about it, and it's like I can't remember how it went, but there was a song at the end of the film all about all the injuries that they sustained.
Okay, okay.
Anyway, first tangent of 2023. So any other?
Plenty more.
Any more that you picked up?
I picked up myself. Probably not. No. Excuse me. I was going to say, what is that? See that drink that they drink, the alcohol one? It's like kombucha.
Mm-hmm.
What is kombucha?
I'm not sure.
Because the supermarket, Morrison's just started selling it, and I'm interested, but I don't really want to buy it. But
we could buy it for that planned dinner night we're talking about.
Oh yeah. It's not an alcoholic though, so. No.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
But no, I'm out of Easter eggs and that, so it's down to you. Your list is now prevalent.
Right. I just wrote down a load of scribbles, so we'll talk through some of them, then we can get into the film itself. So, there's quite a few MCU links in here.
Drax.
So Drax, yep.
Edward Norton was the Hulk.
Yes, I didn't recognize him at the very start because obviously the Incredible Hulk was so long ago that he's obviously aged, not in a bad way. He looks good, but he's looks a wee bit different than he did back then.
Yeah, and he's a wee bit kind of more on the kind of whimsical side, and this one usually is quite serious roles.
Mm-hmm. I've forgotten her name, but there's also the one that plays Agatha Harkness in WandaVision.
Catherine Hahn.
Yes, and quite a poignant one at the moment. There's a few mentions for Jeremy Renner.
Oh, because the hot sauce.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's some reference to. Was he on some show and he got hot sauce in his eye or something like that?
Mm-hmm. I'd like to. He would never in a million years be listening to this, but I would just like to send Seismic Cinema's best wishes to. I'm assuming you've heard of what happened to Jeremy Renner.
Oh, who hasn't?
Pretty brutally.
Aye, because there's so many rumors flying about that he got like his legs run over and all that kind of stuff, and then it was like blunt force trauma to the chest and all that. But he looks pretty messed up in his Instagram posts. But yeah, hopefully he's feeling better because we need more Hawkeye in our lives.
Oh, yeah, Hawkeye was great, wasn't it?
Still finish it. Still got 2 episodes.
Well, it's good anyway. More of a link to Nice Out, but obviously Chris Evans was in Nice Out as well.
Yes.
Another kind of tie-in. Just trying to see. I thought this was quite interesting. Rian Johnson, Daniel Craig, and the other producer Bergman, I think, they earned $100 million each from doing this.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a budget of $40 million. And it says only made 15, but it was only in the. Do you know how they released it in the cinema for like a few days or a week, and then on Netflix.
You wouldn't expect it to make any money, really.
Yeah. So Nice Out was produced by Lionsgate, but Netflix bought the rights for $469 million to make 2 sequels. So we're going to get at least a third one.
Okay, nice.
And Netflix outbid both Apple and Amazon for the rights, so it's obviously quite a sought after property.
Franchise. Yeah.
What else did I find?
Do you think your boy will be in it, Daryl?
Possibly. I'll get to him in a second. It was filmed in, I don't know how to pronounce it, but an island called Spetses in Greece, hence my Greece talk for those watching. And some of it was the New York scenes were filmed in Belgrade.
Bit different, but okay, sure.
This is one I clocked it. Well, it was probably quite obvious, but I did clock it. But it's interesting how it came about. Did you notice that Ethan Hawke was in the film for like 2 minutes?
Yeah, I did that. When I seen him, I was like, "Oh, nice." He's like everything now. And then I thought he was going to appear later on in the film. He just never did. He never came back.
So I've got a bit of insight into that from doing my reading. He was filming Moon Knight in Budapest, and he just came over for the day to Greece to film it.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool, actually.
So it was actually happening at the same time as Moon Knight, so I quite like that one. What else did I find? Quite like, I know it's probably just a staple of kind of action sort of movies, but the kind of Hot Fuzz reference with the kind of the journal stopping the bullet and like the fake blood and things like that.
Oh god, it's such a
staple.
It's so tropey, that stopping the like. So basically, if he shoots her anywhere else, movie over, dead, done.
Just rewatching it, Duke obviously did mention the pineapple allergy, but I think we saw that in the movie as well. Daryl, my character here, is played by a guy called Noah I can't read my name here. Segal. It's either Sega or Segal.
I think
something
it's
like
second. I don't know.
that. He's also apparently in Knocked Up. Nice Out. There's a guy called Trooper Wagner.
What do you mean? Apparently, he's in most of the movie.
I don't know. I've not seen Nice Out in quite a while because you watched it like a couple of weeks ago. I've not watched it in like.
You know, like Benoit Blanc, and there's two detectives in the case. He's one of the two detectives.
Do you know that way though? If I rewatched Nice Out now, I would recognize him from this.
Oh yeah, instantly you would instantly.
Because I haven't watched that in a while.
Yeah, it's funny. He's just clean shaven and Knives Out, and then you see this. He's just like a total like beach bum hobo kind of looking guy. He just walks through every scene going, "I'm not here. I'm not here."
I really liked that. Was actually something I would have mentioned anyway. I really liked his character. I thought it was just really funny that this guy was just there because he was his pal, and there was a scene where he's just like chilling with Daniel Craig.
At the very end, having cigars.
I quite enjoyed his character, but again, that's straying into the movie, which we'll get to, I promise. It was filmed in Greece because Rian Johnson was just really keen to get back abroad during the pandemic.
To Somewhere Sunny. We'll just make a movie, Somewhere Sunny.
Yes. It was inspired by a few different films. Evil Under the Sun, which I've not seen. The Last of Sheila, which I've not seen. But like things like Death in the Nile as well, because it's like a kind of group of people going away on a kind of holiday. There's a murder mystery. I really like Death in the Nile. This is a real genre of film that I'm really into these days.
Oh yeah, mind I was saying like we never do murder mysteries, and literally that Death in the Nile.
Oh yeah, that's an Easter egg within an Easter egg. A wee bit about the title. So Glass Onion essentially is like something that's hidden in plain sight. They chose the word glass. This bit's quite cool. They chose the word glass because it's clear, so like the answer's obvious. But he also just looked for songs that had that in their title, and Glass Onion is a song by the Beatles. You probably already knew that.
Yep.
And it's played at the end of the movie. Rian Johnson's cousin, a guy called Nathan Johnson, he scored the film and Nice Out and Looper. There's going to be a Blu-ray with extra features potentially.
Okay. Which I will borrow off of you. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. The Daryl character apparently was a kind of red herring after someone called Kato Kylan, who was a witness in the O.J. Simpson trial, who stayed at his guest house the night before the trial. So the character was based on something that happened in real life.
Yeah, because when he was there, I was just like, why is he there? Like, why is he just wandering about? He must have something to do with something.
Yeah, I didn't really think of him as like an actual threat. I just thought he was like a funny extra. Another bit I read was the Benoit Blanc's reading a puzzle book in the bath, and it says on the cover, basically you need to work out what order the puzzle goes in, which was like foreshadowing about the movie's structure.
Right, okay.
Last couple, Elon Musk inspired the main character, or one of the main characters.
Only ever so slightly.
Yes, and Kaylee Cuoco from Big Bang Theory almost played Birdie.
I don't know if she'd be able to pull it off. I think Kate Hudson done an amazing job.
She was annoying though. Did you not find her annoying? That was the intention, obviously, but I found her quite annoying.
I thought she was just so funny. I thought she was the kind of one of the highlights in the movie, actually.
Interesting. She was one of the things I didn't like as much, but we'll get to that.
Miss Birdie J.
And that's me. So thank you to Wikipedia. Thank you to BT. Thank you to
Bustle,
and thank you to
Screen Crush,
and Ryan Airy. That's the guy's called. So yeah, anyway, that's some background. I'm not going to do this much research every week, by the way, because
it's quite refreshing.
What's that?
It's quite refreshing.
What? Actually doing some?
Yeah, you doing some homework for once?
I felt about what I can. I didn't really take that long, in all honesty.
It's usually this point you're going, Paul, I don't really remember much about the movie now.
Well, That will come once we start talking about the movie. So I've watched it once, and then I rewatched half of it, and then ran out of time. So that's where I'm at. What about yourself?
I think I've watched it 1.5 times, and I watched the kind of last 20 minutes rushed just because I couldn't remember how it ended because my brain hurt.
Right. We'll get to scores, seismic scores, at the very end. But what were your kind of overall impressions of the film?
Yeah, I would say fairly positive. I thought it was a kind of middle of the road kind of movie. Like, I think it was very stylish looking, but I don't know. It just didn't seem like a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Like, I enjoyed it enough to want to do a podcast on it and have quite a lot to say about it. But I didn't leave it feeling like it was one of the best films I've seen this year or ever. I think it's something I would happily rewatch, but I would need to watch Nice Out again to see which I prefer.
Yeah, because like when I was watching it, you know, like when you watch something, you're like, oh, that was like a really clever twist, or like, oh, that was like, I never thought of that. I was just watching it going, I was kind of a bit like kind of underwhelmed by everything that was going on, and it seemed to take a long time for stuff to happen.
I think I liked the first. I think I liked it before. I think I liked it better before the reveal.
Yes, I would say so. When it was just a straight up, because like you didn't know who was going to die, because like obviously it was like Miles Braun wants to do a murder mystery weekend, solve my murder. So traditionally, you're thinking somebody's going to murder him, and
Yeah,
you think
I thought he was going to get murdered, and I was quite looking forward to the act. We never really got, because obviously Benoit solved it within 5 minutes. So I was actually kind of gutted that I didn't get to see the actual murder mystery unfold.
Yeah. Oh, you got to see the fake arrow and the blood spurting out. That was about it.
However, we do know that Rian Johnson loves subverting expectations.
That we do. That we do. I'm sure never talk about it again. Last Jedi.
I like Last Jedi.
No. No.
We should do a Last Jedi podcast, though, just for discussion purposes.
We should do. I was actually listening to the Star Wars Skinny. They did one recently, the last couple of weeks on The Last Jedi. I was listening to that today, and God, they love that movie. And I was just sitting there going, I hate that movie.
This is tangent number 2. So
Sorry.
I think because we're purposely making this quite unstructured, I think we should throw a curveball and do our seismic score now, and then discuss the film further.
Cool. Right. Okay.
Take a second.
What about a 10?
Out of 10. 10 seismic stars.
Cool. I would say.
Wait, we'll do it 1, 2, 3.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 7.
6. So you went 7, I went 6.
I think 6 is a bit harsh. I think it was a better film. It had more layers, like onions have layers, as Shrek always said. I think it had more to it than 6. But it's your opinion, so.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, I did like it. I thought it looked good, and I thought it was acted well. I just thought like the overall story and what actually happened was basically what Edward Norton killed Duke, tried to kill Andy, and that was it. That was like an overall thing.
Right, let's dive a bit deeper then. So let's not do the classic blow by blow analysis, but just kind of start from the start and just loosely talk through what happens and our opinions on it.
Cool. So it starts off with the puzzle boxes, doesn't it?
Did that not remind you a lot of Escape Room?
I did actually, yeah, I did. Although, see if it was me, I would have I would never even got past the first puzzle.
I know.
The stereograph.
They all found it quite easy, didn't they?
Well, no. Duke's mum found it easy.
It was really embarrassing. I didn't realize that was Drax until like the credits.
Jesus Christ.
Because it doesn't really look like him because he's not blue.
But other than that, his face looks the same. And his body type's the same. And his lack of hair is the same.
Apart from that. So, that just totally reminded me of Escape Room, which is a good movie for anyone who's not seen it. The first one.
By the way, talking about Dave Bautista, how weird does his head look?
Didn't really pay his head that much attention, to be honest.
Yeah, next time you're looking at it or just watch it, see when there's like a close up of him, just look at the top of his head. It's like a testicle. It's just wrinkly. It's as if, and I read up on it, and it's apparently because when he used to do wrestling, to make like blood, like when he were fighting to make blood, they'd like cut their heads, so like blood would pour out quicker. So that's why his head's all kind of like scarred. It's really weird. Next time you watch it, have a look out for it.
I'll be sure to check that out. So they get the boxes, and then eventually they all meet up, and there's a lot of awkward mask wearing, or lack of mask wearing.
Oh right. See when you said masks, I was thinking like masquerade ball kind of masks.
No.
Yeah.
That was done. Yeah, that was done intentionally because Claire, the politician, was doing the classic just covering your face with your hands. Was it Birdie that was wearing the one that was it Lana Del Rey wore at some kind of award ceremony?
Or was it? I thought it was just like see through. It was like nothing. It was like it didn't have any fabric to it written.
And Drax just wasn't wearing one at all.
No, but then Ethan Hawke turns up with his magic squishy squish. I was like, yeah, you're good.
That was one of my favorite parts of the film when Ethan Hawke showed up.
Yeah, it's just such a weird wee cameo, but it was pretty cool.
So
did you like Hugh Grant's cameo?
Was that Benoit's husband?
Oh, partner, husband, one of the two.
What's quite good, obviously, because this film can be viewed in two different ways. There's the first time you see it, and then there's when you see it. When you watch it again, once you know the twist. So is there anything you noticed on the kind of initial meeting of the characters that kind of felt different the second time around?
I don't think so. Did something twig for you?
No, it's just obviously when Miles is meeting Andy on the beach.
All right, aye.
That's different when you know that he thinks she's dead or knows she's dead.
Yeah. So the whole time, like, Miles knows that Andy's dead. So I don't know. See if that was me, you'd be like, he plays such a straight face all the time. It doesn't seem to be phased by it, and like he's not. Like I would be thinking, like, what the hell? How's she alive? This, that, and that. Next thing, like he just seems so like kind of like non-phased that this person that he allegedly killed was on his island.
I thought that he maybe he knew about the sister and he just kind of thought maybe he knew that it was a sister, or do you think that he thought she didn't die?
I don't know. I thought that he knew something. Oh, I thought he knew that he killed her. And this was maybe something like a sister or something, but maybe just playing it out to see what she wanted, or I don't know. It just seemed a bit of a weird choice that, like, if you'd killed somebody and they just appeared, you'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. I thought he'd maybe be working in the background to come up with a plan to eliminate her or kind of silence her.
Yeah. No. I know what you mean. But I definitely did. I don't know. I did like the second watch through because you kind of know, you kind of pick up all the wee kind of clues and stuff, and all the wee bits that are said, and then they come like the foreshadowing kind of thing.
See the bit where what's Drax's character called?
Duke.
Oh, Duke. It's right in front of me. When he keeps getting all the the text alerts, and he's like, "You've got a text alert for movie." So he gets the text saying that Andy is dead,
Mm-hmm.
and then he shows that to Miles, and he basically is using the information as a bargaining chip to get onto the show he wants to get onto.
Yeah, the Alpha News.
And then he kind of hides the phone from Whiskey.
Yes.
When she tries to look at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So everyone's kind of trying to just protect their own interests because like Claire and the scientist guy, they're always quite close, chatting away and conspiring.
Yeah. I didn't think, see the chemist, I didn't think he really did much in the movie. He was pretty low-key.
Lionel.
Lionel Toussaint or something.
Because there's another one, I wrote all the names down. Is it? Because I can't read it right now.
Peg.
Peg, yeah. She didn't really have a massive part in the movie either.
She was quite funny though, trying to keep Birdie in check because Birdie has a terrible history of tweeting things that are inappropriate without knowing.
Child labour or something like that.
Sweatshops.
She thought sweatshops were a place for sweatpants from head.
You can imagine people out there that are actually like that.
No, she did. She was quite realistic. I liked I did like the concept of calling it the glass onion and the fact it's obviously all about, well, something in plain sight, but obviously, as we mentioned Shrek earlier, the fact that there's layers to the mystery, and it was also named after a pub that they used to go to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, see, I did like no reading up on this before I watched it, and I thought the glass onion was going to be like a jewel, like a heist.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, different.
I didn't really know. I thought it was maybe something to do with the boxes they got.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be something to do with that. There was no, this escaped me. Paul, jump in quickly. I forgot what I was going to
say. See at the end, like when she finds. So basically, the whole thing is that Andy and Elon Musk. I mean, Miles Braun.
Miles Braun.
Yeah, they wrote their idea for this groundbreaking company on a napkin, and Andy finds the original that she wrote in Miles's office. See that napkin, you would protect that with your life, and yet she just allows Miles just to go like flick a lighter up at it and set it on fire.
I've watched that. Do you know, like, I can't remember what movie was it. Wolf of Wall Street, where there's a contract. Does he not like sign up to something when he's really drunk on a napkin, and it's quite a big plot point.
Could be. I've not seen. I was like, I've not seen Wolf of Wall Street since we went to see it in the cinema with Neilfie.
Did we see it in the cinema?
Yeah.
I've been on a lot of cinema trips I've forgotten about.
Yeah, that was years ago though.
Good movie though.
It was a good movie.
Now you would think that last scene it got a bit out of hand when they started just smashing all the glass sculptures and the Mona Lisa goes on fire and the place blows up. It was quite a chaotic ending.
Yeah, it was a bit kind of. I don't know. I felt like the end got a bit rushed. Like it came the reveal of Miles killing Duke and trying to kill Andy, and then it was just like he gets rid of all the evidence of Andy owning the company, and so Andy's sister just goes crazy and blows up the place.
Helen,
yes, that's right, Helen.
Is there anything you noticed? Like, did you anticipate the twist, or was there anything you spotted that when do you know how they revealed like what actually happened like, later on, or how it appeared differently? Was there anything you spotted earlier on in the film that became relevant later?
I don't think so. No, when I watched it, I wasn't confused. I was just kind of like, Because I didn't realize that Benoit and Helen were in league with each other throughout the movie, which I thought was pretty cool. I like that. Like it's quite a clever movie in some respects, but I think it lets itself down in some places as well by just taking like the kind of easy option out. So like, it has all this kind of clever setup, and then when it gets down to it, it's just like, oh, it's Miles, and he's a bad man, and we always know he's a bad man. And
I was kind of let down in the sense of like I thought, like, see when there's the big reveal that Miles is an idiot. I was quite enjoying his kind of rousing speech. You know, when he was talking about the disruptors, and he was saying how like all these different people had like changed the industry that they work in. I was feeling quite inspired by it, and then later on you're like, nah, he's an idiot. All right, okay. So
he just says a lot of words. He says a lot of words, and they sound good, but they don't make sense.
Just like us.
That's pretty much us for like 50 minutes.
This film's a good one for us to start the year out with, because it's actually very similar to how we run and record our podcasts.
Yes. Chaos, or tearing the system down, disrupting people's listening pleasure.
Well, I mentioned earlier, or I said to you, I was like, is there anything you noticed? I noticed Miles with the phone in his back pocket the first time round.
All right, okay, I didn't, no.
I clocked that. Did you notice Miles drinking the wrong drink the first time round?
I didn't either, no.
No, I didn't notice that one.
What else was there? Oh, see when Miles shoots Andy through the window.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did like Benoit know that he ran away after he shot the gun? Because like, see if he just shot the gun and just stood there and watched for like, I don't know, a few seconds, he'd have been like seen Andy and Benoit like talking and him like pouring hot sauce on her. I thought that was a bit of a kind of strange one, because he just shot the gun and ran away, whereas he could just shot the gun and watched that Benoit wasn't coming towards him and just watched the whole scene play out, and then he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, he's still alive!" Shoot again.
I quite enjoyed watching the scenes where you saw them from a different perspective, like when Andy was also in the scene, or Benoit was also in the scene. I like the joke of the smoke-free area.
Oh, and the clean water.
Yeah, because that repeated itself later on.
Can you see, before this podcast is up, can you please say something in a southern drawl?
No.
Why not?
I'll do it in the next podcast if I get a bit of time to prep.
You know you won't, you liar.
I'll use it as a hook. I'll do the Black Mirror intro. In that way.
Okay, sure. I believe it when I see it.
I'm just trying to think if there was anything else in particular.
Well, who was your favourite character out of all the cast?
Favourite character? Now you're talking. They weren't. I'd probably Daryl.
Aye.
I just loved when he appeared and just doing his thing, like just chilling out, not having a great time, but having a great time.
He's probably in it for about 10 seconds the whole film.
I know, but every time he was there, I laughed. I just thought it was hilarious. There was this guy who was nothing to do with the film that was there.
So you've got this menagerie of characters, and the one character you really like has like no screen time.
If we're talking about the main cast, Lionel doesn't do anything. Claire's boring. I can't read that one. Birdie J's annoying. Dukes is alright. Andy Whiskey.
Dukes a misogynist pig.
I'd probably say Miles Braun just because of how at first glance he did appear very successful and like creative, but then you find out he just like steals everybody's ideas and is a bit of a phony. So I'd probably pick Miles because I thought he gave a really good I thought the Incredible Hulk gave a very good performance as well. Have you noticed that when I forget an actor's name, I just use a previous character that they've been?
Yeah. Edward Norton.
Yes, Edward Norton. That's the one. I'd probably go Miles Braun then for like the main cast.
I'd probably go Kate Hudson or DJ because I just found that everything she said was just so hilarious. Like she was so stupid, but I found it just so funny. Because she's just so simple.
Yeah.
And having to have a personal assistant that makes sure you don't tweet hitting silly is just like,
You could use that.
hey, I keep it clean. I don't say it bad. Ain't no racism written up here. No, sir.
We'll talk after the podcast. So yeah, I think overall we succeeded in having a very unstructured Glass Onion style review.
Yep, just full of chaos, but we've got to a clear, concise end.
All that was missing was doing our slogan in the middle of the podcast.
Oh yeah, we should make this the middle of the podcast.
You up for that editing job?
No. We should make this middle of the podcast and then we should talk about something else.
Why don't we talk about what we're going to be doing next week and when this is going to come out and where people can find us?
Oh, okay, that's your job.
So we're Seismic Cinema. You can find us on, I always feel like Troy McClure when I do that. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're going to be more active now, I would say, now that New Year's out the way. You can find our podcast in video form on YouTube, but also Spotify, because Spotify has video now, which is cool. You can also find us on audio on Anchor, Audible, Amazon Music, Good Pods, Amazon, could I say that? I don't know. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the podcasts. And next week, we're going to have our good friend James, who came on for the Shutter Island review, which was really enjoyable, and he properly schooled us with his large amount of insight on the movie.
Speak for yourself.
And he's going to join us. We're going to do, this is something, me and James are really big fans of Black Mirror, which I think has a new season coming out in the hopeful near future. And we're going to rank, there's 22 episodes plus a movie, an interactive movie. So we're going to rank our top 10 episodes. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. As I said at the start, I've been rewatching a few of them. Paul's going to try and watch. I'm going to suggest some to Paul when we're off air that Paul can check out, my favourite ones. And Paul will hopefully join us next week.
Yep, I'm kind of wait to get my mind blown by
That's good.
Twists and turns.
Any Black Mirror fans watching this, comment and tell Paul that he should get on it.
I do love a good social commentary.
Do you want to give any shout outs to any fellow podcasters or anyone before we sign off?
Sure. Been listening to quite a few actually. I was like I saying, I listened to the Star Wars Skinny. He's always good for just deep dives into Star Wars and a good laugh. Been listening to, if you remember, Hans from the MCU episode we did.
I remember
the Actual Movie Book Club. Listen to quite a lot of their stuff because, like, see all the movies that they review, they're like all my jam. Like all action movies that I love, like all Arnie movies and things. And yeah, what else was I listening to? The Nomads of Fantasy. I was listening to theirs because they did one on Andor as well. It was quite good, quite balanced. So yeah,
we've got Mando season 3 coming out in a couple of months. We'll need to rewatch that and do a wee preview if you're up for it.
Yeah. And a special mention to one of our kind of biggest supporters, Ollie, the Muddy Dragon 3000. He always gives us a good support, and I think Glass Onion was one of his kind of favourite movies he was looking forward to anyway. I think his Twitter name was like the Glass Onion for a while as well. So yeah, so big shout out to you, bud.
We mentioned it earlier that James is coming on next week, but hopefully James is watching this, and James, it's time to take the plunge and get your podcast started so we can come on and guest.
Yeah, but if you do more successful than us, then we wish you nothing but trouble and strife.
Or we'll pick your brains to see how we can replicate that.
or take one of us. Ideally, not Colin.
Also, Paul, can you send me a wee list each week of podcasts to listen to? Because you're a lot better at finding them than I am.
Sure, man. Yeah, that's good. I shall send you loads because there's plenty. There's so many out there, and like they're so good. Yeah, I'll give you a wee starter pack.
Cool. Well, I don't know you, Paul. I've really enjoyed getting back into the podcast game. I've been looking forward to it. The week feels a bit more complete, and it's quite cool doing it in a different year, which shows we've done this almost a full 12 months.
Yeah, that's been quite a ride. I remember I heard somewhere, I can't remember where I heard it, that 95% of podcasts like jack it in after 3 episodes. So we're doing all right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's became a real part of the weekly routine, and it keeps me watching interesting films and shows as well.
I know. I've got. I'm quite excited to see what we get up to this year, movie wise, because we've got so many classics that we can do, and so many new stuff coming out as well. Quite a good mix. So yeah, it should be an exciting year.
Cool. Paul, do you want to finish off with telling the audience our slogan?
The power of idiotic entrepreneurs that have no idea what they're doing, but have all the money in the world and can do what they want.
And also, it was sorry, I was going to say the name of the film. Our slogan is the power of escapism. I've enjoyed escaping reality for a wee hour, and I hope you have too.
Yep.